Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview brought to you in partnership by The Athletic, which you can get a 30-day free trial and 50% off your yearly subscription by clicking the link in the description below. It has all its own designated writers. We've got ours, Paddy Boyland and Greg O'Keefe, just Everton, all Everton news on there. No pop-ups, no ads, and in-depth journalism. So check it out. Click the link in the description. Joined by Andy for an away trip, 4:30 on Sky for the world to see. Marvellous. One of probably two the most difficult away games you can have at the moment, Leicester. The other one is next Wednesday against Liverpool.
Back to back, yeah.
Back to back, baby. I mean, we're not in great form.
The away form's worse than the actual form, so yeah, that's a start. And
you're only as good as your last game. And we won our last away game.
True, we did. That's very true. We beat Southampton and then...
We beat them 2-1, Leicester
and
beat
then,
them 9-0.
Proverbially something in the bed against Norwich. But yeah, no, Leicester a tough team. It's not going to be an easy game. I don't think they're as good as they appear to be. I don't think they'll be able to sustain. Well, I might be wrong. I was wrong when they won the title. So, but I don't think they'll be able to sustain the fun. But they are a good side, and obviously, Var van Vaart, who's a top goal scorer in the Premier League this season, helps, and they've got some creative players, and they're still not firing on all cylinders. Jose Perez started scoring goals now, but he hasn't played particularly well. And Harvey Barnes is still trying to get up to speed with the Premier League in terms of consistent performances. But they've just got a good side. They've just got a really well working side, and having Maddison, Tielemans, and Vardy, it works wonders for them.
They've got, Pedro saying the other day, they've got more points this season than they had when Brendan Rodgers took over in February, which is or two less than when.
Yeah, I think since he took over, I think they've got one of the best 2 or 3 records in the league. Yeah, and it's continued over from last season. Yeah, they're going to be tough for us. They've got pace, which obviously is our Achilles heel when we overpress, and they've got Maddison who can create, Tielemans who can create, and then they've got Chilwell as well, who's a good fullback, and Pereira on the other side. They've got some good players, and obviously I could talk about what Everton should do or what need to do, but it's very difficult at the moment in terms of the uncertainty over the manager, the uncertainty over the playing side, because obviously it changes so often, because obviously the manager's having lots of trouble finding a solution to our problems, and I don't know, it's going to be a difficult game, but madly enough as it is, I've got, somewhere in my head, I think we've got a chance of getting a draw. I do it. I think we can frustrate teams, it's just how we turn up. I think if you're going to play Leicester away, you should sit in, not let Vardy in behind, make them break you down, try and hit them on the counter. No, that's what they're good at, but you can't foolhardily go there and try and dominate the game, because once they break the press or once they go on the counter attack, they've got Vardy to finish it off. And so we need to be smart, but I can't really optimistically say we're going to be, can I? But yeah.
No, it's a very tough game. Obviously, we've won 2 out the last 3 at the King Power since Leicester won the league. So, the one we lost was last time we didn't have a manager. Yeah. David Umbreath was there. We got beat 2-0 that day. I think Everton have still got they've got a good squad, in my opinion. Got talented players. But as a team, the way they're playing, not good. The makeup of the team, the manager, going back to the Norwich game at the weekend, the makeup of that side, Schneiderlin, Sigurdsson, Tosin, no pace at all in a game that we needed to have patience to really stretch them. No. That was a massive mistake. He's got limited options in midfield in terms of having a defensive midfield player. Obviously, Benny Beningame went off injured as well this week in the Leasing.com defeat by Fleetwood. He only lasted 43 minutes, I think, so there's not even any cover there now. But hopefully, Fabian Delph will be fit this weekend. And if that's the case, I'd ship Schneiderlin straight
Yeah, I'd just have to Fabian Delph come in and replace him straight away.
Because we need, Iwobi would go central for me, Sigurdsson would be out. Because we need different options. Dom back in up front, maybe, hopefully Bernard.
Have a direct option, Dom. It doesn't hurt to be able to play different ways. I think with Cenk Tosun is you're limiting yourself really what you can, especially with him and Gylfi together. I haven't looked at the stats again because I couldn't bring myself to, but I can only imagine how many times they passed each other last weekend.
So I think it was.
There you go. So there's an obviously issue when Sigurdsson plays in terms of creativity, and people say to me, "Oh, look at how many chances he created. Look how many from set pieces. That a lot of them, and he has a great set piece, a great technique. just not enough in open play, and the build-up play that he gets involved in is very sparing. So bringing Iwobi in will help us. Hopefully Bernard will be back. Him and Dean. I don't think Dean's the same without Bernard. I think when he plays with other people on the left-hand side, he doesn't seem to have the same relationship. They don't open up the space enough. Bernard's clever enough to open up space for Luca Dean from Zell to create damage. I think when you've got Richarlison, he wants to get in the box very quickly, rather than sort of time in his run, so he drags the defender away for Dean, and that's just a natural partnership.
If Bernard was fit, would you potentially put Richarlison back on the right?
Yes, I probably would. Yeah,
that's right. Because don't forget, the way I look at it, one of Leicester's big threats is Minshall. Well,
it's just a down,
side, and Richarlison does work hard. You want to give them something to think about. Pereira's good on the other side, but obviously Bernard would occupy him as well. You know, Bernard was brilliant in this game last season at Leicester. Where the song Bernard will take it apart comes from. You know, we had a great game that day, and had an assist. Well, it was an assist, even though they didn't include it because Schmeichel touched it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, and had a very good game that day. But I just think going into this, it's a game Everton can get something out of, but
it's a really no-lose
things
situation.
would have to go our way because they are flying. They're playing brilliant.
Is it a no-lose game for Marcus? So let's be honest, his position is, pretty untenable really in a lot of ways. He's got a free hit at it. Do you really want to have another last free hit at it with Gylfi Sigurdsson, Cenk Tosun as your options? When he knows that they're not the future of the club. This is the problem with Marco.
Does he though?
Well, he said question.
We might
but
say
it's logic though. If you look at it, I don't know why Jonathan Calvert-Lewin's out the team. As I said to people, he scored 3 goals in 3 goals in the league in, I think it was 500 odd minutes. It basically worked out as 1 every 180 minutes was 1 and 2. That's what you want from a striker. And but he's just ever since he scored, really, he's been dropped to the bench for Cenk Tosun, who scored against Moldova.
He scored against Spurs, didn't he?
He's probably best as a sub if you're going to play 2 up front. He's not a man who can lead the line in the Premier League on his own.
I look at him the same as I look at Sigurdsson, and when they're coming on with 20 minutes left, when the game's calmed down and everybody's energy levels are full speed, their pace then allows them is equal. So it's a more even game. Sigurdsson can get busier because he's not leaving things behind. Tosun doesn't look as slow. But to start with them, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the manager's position is very precarious, let's be honest. People know that I've tried to defend him, but even I'm past the point where it's like, I don't see him being here much longer. That's just the way it is. You can't be
getting beat by all 3 promoted sides without scoring. That shows that lacks something. The players not responding, tactical errors, team selection errors.
Well, we've lost 7 out of 13 games, which is ridiculous. We could quite conceivably lose 9 out of 15. We could quite conceivably lose to Leicester and Liverpool. I mean, most people will go, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Put a double,
if you're a neutral looking at Everton's next 2 games, you go, no points in either of those games. None. I mean, some would have us down for no points in the next 5.
Probably, yeah.
But, certainly the next 2. So, a manager, no matter who you are, can't survive losing 9 games in 15. They can't. It's just football. We've had 2 wins in 9. It'd be 2 wins in 11. So
it'd be fair enough if it was his first season, but when you're looking at your second season, there's no progress whatsoever.
Money's being spent. So for me, if I was him, I'd try to do something totally different at the weekend. Maybe play 3 at the back, or maybe, I don't know, if Bernard's fit, then he comes in, Richarlison.
Try something different,
Go for a midfield of legs, maybe. And
you want to move, even if Iwobi, is not, really successful in the game, he'll move indeed around out in front of that back 4. And that's going to be key because he screens properly and he does shut things down. If you can move him out the way and get Tom Davis in as a midfield runner, then things will happen. But these are the things that Silva needs to do, and we seem to go at every game the same, and except West Ham, which still is a weird outlier where Marco looked like he really knew how to kill a West Ham team, and against everyone else, I don't know why it's so not simple against everyone else, but I don't know. It's going to be a tough game. They've got good players. We need to be smart, but whether we can be or not, there's a malaise over this game, I'd say. I think that everyone expects us to get beat, even probably the fans. We know the manager's probably on his way out, maybe. So it's a hiding to nothing.
I feel like we're just in a bit of limbo.
Yeah,
really. I feel like it's a case of, I've said this on something we done earlier in the week. it just feels like, let's just get to next Thursday.
Yeah.
Because, and that's never good. That's 2 Premier League games
6 points
that
down
I'm
the drain,
kind of writing off, which is poor. 6 points. It's a hell of a lot of points, and that's just how I feel. I don't know whether other people feel like that, but that's just the way I just feel, as though it's like these next 2 games now, just get them out the way, and then see where we go from there. Because, like I say, I always fancy us at home, no matter who we play, and I'll fancy us against Chelsea. I really will, even though they're a good side and playing brilliantly. But I don't know, Goodison, I quite fancy us, and again that will be we're underdogs in, which will help us. But these next 2, it's so frustrating. So you may as well go out firing on all cylinders, have a go at them, and try something fresh and new. But Iwobi for me's got to play in the middle. Just on Leicester, how far can they go? Because they've done really well as second at the moment in the league.
They can go far. You look at depth. Why, again, injuries without Vardy, Iheanacho. He wasn't a bad player. His development stalled since he went to Leicester. So that's an issue if they lose him. You look behind Maddison and others. Yeah, they're quite like Liverpool really in a lot of ways. They've got a really good 12 to 14 players. And then behind that, central defence, Johnny Evans has gone out injured, hasn't he? So it'll be Soyonk, who's had a really good season so far, but still inexperienced. And it'll be Wes Morgan, who is he 60? I don't know, but he's done well whenever he's played. So but I think they'll probably look again in January to buy 1 or 2 players. They signed Dennis Praet in the summer, who's added something to them. So yeah, I think they'll do well. 11 points clear of 5th are they at the moment? Realistically, they shouldn't lose that top 4 spot. We've seen teams do it before. So it's not, at this moment, you can't say they're definitely a top 4 side, but yeah, they could be a top 4 side. And let's be honest here, Leicester, after winning the title, really didn't do anything. But they recruited well, even though the managers weren't getting it right, and they got the right manager, and they took off. So I suppose that's a lesson to learn. The fact that Everton, we haven't really signed a bad player really under Marcel Brands. I know people certainly look and say, "Oh, we didn't get a centre back." Right, that's right, and maybe not a striker or a right wing or whatever you want to look at. But I look at, are we getting the best out of the squad we've got now? And the answer is no. So even adding players, I still think we'd be short in certain, with the manager isn't getting the best out of the players. So if we change the manager, then maybe we can go on a next, second half of the season. Next season will be much better. So that's the hope you've got to do. But I suppose Leicester, like Tottenham were a couple of years ago, are a model club for Everton in the sense that you've got to look at what they've done. And I'm not saying copy it, but you've got to look at it and say that should be what we're trying to do.
Interesting. So thoughts then, a draw maybe at best?
I think a draw, yeah. I think we could win. I've just got this sneaky feeling that we're going to get a result. I don't know why. It's just maybe I doubt Leicester. Maybe I think Leicester become so good. I think you said off camera before they scored 17 in the last
5.
But nine came in one game. So they scored 6 in 4. So it's still good, don't be wrong, but that's not as impressive, is it? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think,
who knows?
Yeah, I've got a weird confidence. Maybe that's not going to take into consideration.
Maybe it's hysteria.
They've got outplayed. Yeah, maybe we got outplayed by Norwich. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, all I'd say is there's got to be a reaction. For him,
the players
there
especially.
has to be a reaction from the players. Leicester, like I said, one of the 2 toughest away games you could have at the moment.
Well, Seamus Coleman did a rallying cry. We always respond to them, don't we?
He might be back in.
Yeah, that's again. We'll discuss that another time.
Oh well, there you go. Sorry, it's not a little bit more upbeat, but you've got to say it as it is.
Good, better times are coming, I'd say, for Evertonians.
Yeah,
I think
it's always darkest just before dawn. Let's leave it at that. Subscribe if you haven't. Give the video a thumbs up. Join us on Patreon. Don't forget to check out that link for The Athletic if you're interested in that as well. Big thanks to Andy for joining me. See you later.